Long before the ringing sound of coins filled the bustling markets of the Malay Peninsula, trade was a fundamental part of life. For centuries, the people in this region relied on a system known as barter trade. This was a direct exchange of goods and services without the use of money. People traded what they had for what they needed. A fisherman with a surplus of fish could trade his catch with a farmer who had an abundance of rice. This simple system was the backbone of local economies, allowing communities to thrive by sharing their resources and skills. The value of goods was not fixed, but was often negotiated between the traders, depending on factors like scarcity, demand, and quality. The Malay Peninsula was a land rich in natural resources, which made it an attractive hub for traders from distant lands. Local communities offered valuable items that were highly sought after across Asia and beyond. Aromatic woods like gaharu or agar wood and sandalwood were prized for their fragrant properties, used in perfumes and incense. Spices such as cloves, nutmeg, and pepper were incredibly valuable commodities that drove much of the international trade. Other important goods included tin, which was plentiful in the region, and gold dust collected from rivers. Forest products like rattan, resins, and exotic bird feathers also played a significant role in these early exchanges. The strategic location of the peninsula, situated between the great civilizations of India and China, made it a natural crossroads for maritime trade. From the west, traders arrived from India, Persia, and the Arabian Peninsula. They brought with them colorful textiles, glass beads, ceramics, and metalwork. These foreign goods were often considered luxury items by the local populace and were exchanged for the region's natural resources. Indian merchants in particular had a profound influence, introducing not just their goods, but also their culture, religions, and administrative ideas, which shaped the early kingdoms of the Malay Peninsula. From the east, the most significant trading partners were the Chinese. For centuries, Chinese junks sailed to the Nanyang, or the southern seas, in search of valuable goods. They sought spices, tin, and exotic jungle products to take back to the imperial court and markets of China. In return, they brought high-quality silk, exquisite porcelain, and iron tools. This east-west trade network turned the ports of the Malay Peninsula into vibrant, multicultural centers, where people, goods, and ideas from all over the world converged. This bustling trade environment set the stage for the eventual introduction of a more standardized medium of exchange coinage. As international trade flourished, the limitations of the barter system became increasingly apparent. Negotiating the value of different goods for every transaction was time-consuming and inefficient. Traders from foreign lands began to introduce a more convenient form of payment: coins. These small, portable pieces of metal had a recognized value, which made transactions much faster and simpler. Archaeological discoveries throughout Malaysia have unearthed a fascinating variety of foreign coins, providing a tangible record of the region's extensive trade connections. These coins were not just currency, they were symbols of the far-reaching influence of distant empires. Among the earliest foreign coins found in Malaysia are those from the Sasanian Empire of Persia. These silver dirhams, dating back to the 7th and 8th centuries, have been discovered at archaeological sites in the northern states of the peninsula. Their presence indicates that traders from the Middle East were active in the region long before the rise of the Malacca Sultanate. Similarly, coins from the various Chinese dynasties, such as the Tang and Song, have been found in large quantities. These round copper coins with a square hole in the center, often called pitas or cash by locals, became a common sight in markets and were used for everyday transactions for many centuries. The influence of Islamic trade networks also brought coins from the Middle East and Muslim India. Gold dinars and silver dirhams from the Umayyad and Abbasid caliphates, as well as from various Indian sultanates, circulated in the ports of the Malay Peninsula. These coins were highly valued for their precious metal content and their association with the powerful Islamic world. The discovery of these coins, especially in areas like Kedah and Johor, highlights the region's integration into a global Islamic economic system. The consistent weight and purity of these coins made them a trusted medium of exchange for high-value international trade. The widespread circulation of these foreign coins had a profound impact on the local economy. It familiarized the people of the Malay Peninsula with the concept of a monetized system. While barter trade continued to exist, especially in rural areas, coins became the preferred method for transactions in bustling port cities. This exposure to different types of coinage from powerful empires inspired local rulers. They saw how coins could not only simplify trade, but also serve as a powerful symbol of their own sovereignty and economic control. This realization was a crucial step that would eventually lead to the minting of the very first local coins. Before the Malay sultanates began minting their own round coins, they developed unique forms of currency using the most abundant metal in the region, tin. For centuries, the Malay Peninsula was one of the world's leading producers of tin, and this resource naturally became a standard of value. Rulers began to cast tin into standardized blocks or ingots, which served as a form of money. These tin ingots came in various shapes and sizes, with some of the most famous being the tompong from Pahang. These ingots were often shaped like a truncated pyramid and stamped with the name or seal of the issuing ruler, certifying their weight and value. This early tin currency was a significant step beyond simple barter. It provided a more uniform medium of exchange, although it could still be cumbersome. The value of these ingots was based on their weight, and they were used for larger transactions, such as paying taxes or trading in bulk. Different states produced their own distinct forms. For example, Perak had its Bidor tin ingots, while Selangor produced a different style. This regional diversity shows that local rulers were actively creating their own monetary systems to manage their economies and assert their authority long before adopting the coin shapes seen elsewhere in the world. Perhaps the most fascinating examples of early local currency were the animal-shaped tin money. These imaginative forms of currency appeared in several states, most notably Perak and Selangor, during the 15th to 18th centuries. The tin was cast into the shapes of animals that held cultural or symbolic significance, such as crocodiles, elephants, and cockerels. The crocodile ingot, for instance, was a prominent form of currency in Selangor. These were not just crude representations. Many were crafted with considerable detail, making them objects of art as well as money. Their use demonstrates a creative and localized approach to the concept of currency. The function of these animal-shaped ingots is still a subject of scholarly discussion. While they certainly served as a medium of exchange, their unique forms suggest they may have also had ceremonial or symbolic roles. They might have been used for special payments, such as wedding dowries or royal tributes, rather than for everyday market purchases. Regardless of their exact use, these tin ingots, both in block and animal form, represent a crucial transitional phase in the monetary history of Malaysia. They were the first indigenous attempt to create a standardized currency, paving the way for the more sophisticated metal coins that would soon follow. The establishment of the powerful Malacca Sultanate in the 15th century marked a new era in the region's history. As Malacca grew into a world-renowned trading emporium, its rulers recognized the need for a more standardized and convenient currency to facilitate the immense volume of trade. Inspired by the foreign coins circulating in their port, the Malacca Sultans began to issue the first locally minted coins. The earliest of these were made from tin, continuing the local tradition, but they were now produced in the familiar round shape with inscriptions. These tin coins, known as kalans, were used for smaller everyday transactions within the bustling city. Following the success of the tin coins, the Malacca Sultanate took the next logical step, minting coins from precious metals. The first of these were small gold coins, known as kupang. The gold was sourced from the rich deposits in Pahang, which was a vassal state of Malacca. These gold kupang were tiny, often weighing around 0.6 grams, but they held significant value. They were primarily used by merchants for larger transactions and to pay customs duties at the port. The issuance of gold coins was a powerful statement of Malacca's wealth and sovereignty. placing it on par with other great trading powers of the time. The design of these first gold coins was simple yet elegant. On one side, they typically featured the name and title of the ruling sultan, inscribed in Arabic script. For example, coins were issued under rulers like Sultan Muzaffar Shah and Sultan Mansur Shah. The reverse side was often left blank or had a simple pattern. The use of Arabic script reflected the status of Islam as the official religion of the Sultanate. These coins were not just economic tools. They were a form of royal proclamation, spreading the name and authority of the Malacca Sultan with every transaction they were used in. After the fall of Malacca to the Portuguese in 1511, the tradition of minting local coins did not disappear. Instead, it spread to other emerging Malay sultanates, such as Johor, Aceh, and Kedah. These states continued the practice of issuing their own gold kupang, often following the Malacca model. Some states also began to mint small copper coins, often called pitas, for low-value transactions. These early gold and copper coins laid the foundation for a monetized economy across the Malay world. However, one precious metal was conspicuously absent from these early minting efforts: silver. Despite the widespread use of gold and copper for local coinage, the minting of silver coins in the Malay Peninsula began much later. This might seem surprising, especially since silver coins like the Sasanian dirhams and Spanish dollars were circulating in the region through trade. The primary reason for this delay was a matter of natural resources. The Malay Peninsula was blessed with an abundance of gold, particularly in states like Pahang and Kelantan, and it had seemingly endless supplies of tin. These two metals were readily available to local rulers, making them the natural choice for minting the first indigenous currencies. Gold was ideal for high-value coins, while tin and copper were perfect for everyday transactions. In stark contrast, silver was not a metal that was mined locally in significant quantities during that period. To produce silver coins, the Malay sultanates would have had to import the raw silver. This would have required them to trade their valuable local commodities, such as spices or gold, to obtain it. For many rulers, it made more economic sense to simply use the gold and tin they already possessed, rather than go through the expense and trouble of acquiring silver from foreign sources like Japan, China, or the Spanish Americas via traders. The existing system of gold kupang for high-value trade and tin or copper pitis for the local market worked well enough for their needs. Furthermore, the economic structure of the time did not create a strong demand for an intermediate value silver coin. The gap between the high-value gold kupang and the low-value tin or copper pitas was often filled by other means. This included using bundles of Chinese cash coins, foreign silver coins that were already in circulation, or even continuing to use barter for mid-range transactions. The economy was structured in a way that could function without a locally minted silver denomination. Rulers and merchants were pragmatic and used whatever combination of local and foreign currency was most convenient and available to them at the time. The situation began to change in the 16th century. The increasing volume of international trade and the growing influence of foreign powers who favored silver currency, like the Portuguese and later the Dutch, created a new economic environment. As trade became more complex, the need for a currency that could bridge the value gap between gold and copper became more pressing. This growing demand, coupled with new trade routes that made silver more accessible, finally set the stage for the Malay sultanates to begin minting their own silver coins. It was a response to evolving economic pressures and the desire to maintain monetary control in a changing world. The honor of being Malaysia's first locally produced silver coin belongs to the remarkable Kijang or deer coin. These coins emerged in the northern Malay states of Kelantan and Patani, which were closely linked by political and family ties, sometime in the late 16th or early 17th century. Made from a silver-tin alloy, these coins were distinct from any other currency in the region at the time. The silver was likely sourced through trade, possibly from Japan or China, and then mixed with local tin to create a durable and consistent coinage. The standard weight of these coins was around 6 grams, although variations exist due to the crude minting methods of the era. The production of these coins was a testament to the growing sophistication of the local sultanates. The minting process involved casting the molten metal alloy into a mold. This was different from the hand-striking method used for many European coins of the period. While casting could result in less sharp details, it allowed for the creation of a unique and consistent design. The shape of the Kijang coin was not perfectly round, but rather a slightly irregular circle, a characteristic feature of early cast coins. Each coin was a small piece of handcrafted art, reflecting the skills of the local metalsmiths who produced them. The most iconic feature of the coin is its design. One side prominently features a stylized figure of a kijang, or barking deer. The deer is depicted in a dynamic pose, with its head turned backward as if looking over its shoulder. Below the deer, there is often a crescent moon or a floral pattern. The origin of this deer motif is a subject of local legend. One popular story connects it to Che Sitiwan Kembang, a legendary queen of Kelantan, who was said to be fond of her pet deer. Another theory suggests the design may have been inspired by the images on Hindu-influenced coins from an earlier era, which were then adapted with a local interpretation. On the reverse side, the coin bears an inscription in Arabic script, which typically reads Malik al-Adil, meaning the just ruler. This phrase was a common honorific title used by Muslim sovereigns and was a clear declaration of the ruler's authority and their commitment to Islamic principles of justice. The combination of a local, almost mythical animal motif with a standard Islamic royal title created a coin that was uniquely Malay. The Kelantan Patani Kijang coin was not just money, it was a powerful symbol of cultural identity, blending local tradition with the global influence of Islam, and it stands as the true ancestor of Malaysian silver coinage. The introduction of the silver Kijang coin in Kelantan and Patani was a pioneering move that did not go unnoticed by neighboring Malay states. As these silver coins facilitated trade and proved to be a reliable form of currency, other sultanates began to adopt the idea of minting their own silver coinage. The influence of the powerful Aceh Sultanate in northern Sumatra played a significant role in this process. Aceh, a major economic and political force in the 17th century, produced its own silver coins, known as mas. These Acehnese coins, which were slightly different in weight and design from the Kijang coins, circulated widely throughout the region, including the Malay Peninsula. The state of Kedah, located south of Patani, was one of the first to follow suit. The Kedah Sultanate began issuing its own silver coins, which were heavily influenced by both the Kelantan Patani and Acehnese models. These Kedah coins often featured the name of the ruling sultan on one side, and a floral pattern, or a simple inscription on the other. The minting of silver coins in Kedah was a logical step for a state that had a long history as a trading port. Having its own silver currency allowed the Kedah Sultan to better control the local economy and reduce reliance on the fluctuating supply of foreign and neighboring coins. The trend also spread to other states like Johor and Terengganu. The Johor Sultanate, the successor to the Great Malacca Empire, also began to experiment with silver coinage. While gold remained its primary precious metal currency, silver coins were minted to fill the need for a mid-tier denomination in its bustling trade network. Similarly, Terengganu, a coastal state with strong trade links, issued its own coins that resembled those from Kelantan. These coins often featured Arabic inscriptions and sometimes incorporated local motifs, continuing the tradition of blending Islamic identity with local culture that was started by the Kijang coin. This proliferation of silver coinage across the Malay states during the 17th and 18th centuries marked a significant maturation of the region's economy. It showed that the sultanates were not just passive recipients of foreign currency, but were active participants in the global economy, capable of producing their own sophisticated monetary instruments. The spread of silver coins created a more integrated regional economy, where coins from Kelantan, Kedah, and Aceh could be found circulating side by side in the markets of Perak or Johor. This period represented a high point of indigenous monetary development before the colonial powers began to impose their own currency systems. The introduction of locally minted silver coins like the Kelantan Petani Kijang coin had a transformative effect on the economy and society of the Malay states. Their primary and most important role was to facilitate trade, both local and international. These silver coins provided a reliable and convenient medium of exchange with an intermediate value, perfectly positioned between the high-value gold kupang and the low-value copper or tin pitties. A merchant could now purchase a significant quantity of goods, such as a roll of textiles or a sack of spices, with a handful of silver coins, a transaction that would have been cumbersome with thousands of tiny copper coins or impractical with a highly valuable gold coin. Beyond the marketplace, silver coins played a crucial role in the state's administration, particularly in the collection of taxes and duties. Rulers mandated that certain taxes, such as land taxes or customs duties at the port, be paid in the official silver currency. This was a powerful tool for the Sultanate. It ensured a constant flow of valuable silver back into the royal treasury, which could then be used to fund the army, build infrastructure, or pay for luxury goods from abroad. By making its own coins the required currency for official payments, the state reinforced the coin's value and ensured its widespread acceptance among the population. The value of these early silver coins was intrinsically tied to their metal content. Unlike modern fiat money, whose value is based on government decree, the worth of a Kijang coin was based on the amount of silver and tin it contained. People trusted the coins because they held real, tangible value in the metal itself. This also meant that the coins could be melted down and used as raw material if needed. The value was generally stable, though it could fluctuate based on the international market price of silver. This intrinsic value made the coins acceptable not just locally, but also in neighboring regions, further enhancing their usefulness in trade. Finally, these silver coins served as a potent symbol of sovereignty and identity. Minting one's own currency was a declaration of independence and power. The designs on the coins, whether it was the unique Kijang of Kelantan or the name of the Sultan of Kedah, were a constant, tangible reminder of the ruler's authority. These coins circulated among all levels of society, from the wealthy merchant to the humble farmer, carrying the stamp of the Sultanate with them. In this way, the first silver coins did more than just grease the wheels of commerce. They helped to forge a sense of shared identity and allegiance to the ruling power. The era of indigenous Malay silver coinage began to change with the growing influence of European colonial powers. The Portuguese, Dutch, and finally the British brought their own currencies and economic systems, which gradually displaced the local coins. The most dominant of these was the Spanish silver dollar, also known as the Real de Ocho, or Piece of Eight. Mined in vast quantities in Spanish America, these large, high-purity silver coins became the de facto international currency for trade in Asia. Their consistent weight and quality made them highly trusted, and they were eagerly accepted in ports all over the Malay archipelago, often overshadowing the smaller local silver coins. As British influence grew in the 19th century, they sought to standardize the currency in their territories, which included the Strait settlements of Singapore, Penang, and Malacca. In 1897, the British introduced the Straits dollar, a silver coin specifically minted for the colonies. This new coin was designed to replace the myriad of foreign and local currencies in circulation, including the Spanish dollar and the remaining Malay Sultanate coins. The introduction of the Straits dollar marked the beginning of the end for the traditional Malay silver currencies. Local minting operations ceased as the centralized colonial-issued currency became the legal tender. After Malaysia gained its independence in 1957, the nation began to issue its own modern currency, the Malaysian ringgit, through its central bank, Bank Negara Malaysia. While the silver coins of the past were no longer used for daily circulation, the tradition of using silver for special coinage was revived. Bank Negara Malaysia started issuing non-circulating legal tender commemorative coins made from precious metals, including silver. These coins are minted to celebrate significant national events, anniversaries, or cultural themes. They are highly sought after by collectors, both locally and internationally, for their artistic designs and precious metal content. These modern commemorative silver coins serve as a bridge to the past, honoring the long and rich monetary history of the nation. They carry on the legacy that began with the Kelantan Petani Kijang coin over 400 years ago. In summary, the journey of the silver coin in Malaysia is a reflection of the nation's own history. It began with the innovative Kijang coin, a symbol of local sovereignty and cultural identity. It evolved through a period of regional prominence, faced suppression under colonial rule, and has been reborn in the modern era as a beautiful tribute to Malaysia's heritage. The Kelantan Petani silver coin remains a landmark achievement, rightfully holding its place as the first true Malaysian silver coin.